Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Low key, low energy, not low energy stream, low profile stream tonight. How's everybody doing? Jilly Bean, welcome. Big ol' Grizz, there you are. Annie Crossing, hello, gamer. Kinko, hello, boys, girls, and Nibs, of course. Ghost Slayer with the gifted sub, thank you. Thank you for the gifted sub. Jalro, you are everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. LJ, a Disnerd, thank you for the Prime sub. Oh, is mine? Ooh, you guys don't have J chat. You guys don't have chat on stream. Why isn't that working? Let me fix that. Let me grab Oh, why isn't chat working? Oh, it was working earlier. Malibu, thank you. Welcome. Why is chat not working? Interesting. What a fun little thing. First time joining the stream. Well, welcome, Mr. Galaxy Head. A great one to join on. Did I quit my job? I sure did quit my job. I quit my job last Friday. I put in my 2 weeks ago. Hello, amazing Mina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me set up chat real quick. I don't know what happened here. Twitch has been having a lot of issues. I don't think that's related to this. You going full time on the pod? Thank you for the congratulations. I'm not lying. No, I quit my job. This has been the first week without my like full time job. I'm working with my brother. He has a small business, so I'm working with him. It's not like I'm doing nothing. So I'm doing stuff, and then I'm working on this, and then I've got an announcement to make, but chat isn't working. Strange. I don't know why chat's not working. Is there a Taco Bell near it? Did my mic go out? Oh, sorry. I just went really quiet. Okay. Well, now you guys have chat. Gonna work now. Let me get this all set up. I don't know what happened. Currently in Florida, waiting for the hurricane to hit us. Well, be safe. Trying to see how long I'll have before. Yeah, be safe, Abby. Oof. I do not envy you. Congrats on quitting. Thank you. Thank you. It's very scary, but Big Ol' Grizz, thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you so much. It is September, so this is the month to do it. Yeah, two judges quit their job, just waiting on Christian now. But no, I'm still working a ton with my brother, and then I'm just getting more time to do more stuff for the podcast. All of my browser sources went out. Let me Google this because that's weird. Did Rick fully quit? I'm not entirely sure, honestly. Last I knew, she was still in talks with the employer, but I'm not entirely sure. She was talking with her employer about doing like a part-time or something, and the person that got to replace her was not good, I guess, but I don't know how they ended up on that. What's up, Zachary? Welcome. Let me fix some stuff. I had all of this working and I had it ready to go, and then I had to leave, and when I came back and I went to go open everything up, my OBS crashed my computer, so I had to restart, and now it's all messed up, and I'm pretty upset about it. What did you miss? You have not missed anything yet. Other than we're just talking about how I quit my job, and this has been first week without a job. So it's been interesting. I was not joking, Vanessa. No, I quit my job. Thank you, Ultralight. Yeah, hopefully everything works out for Erica. You know, it's scary. I just got I just got the thing in the mail today that was like, hey, you don't have any of our benefits anymore. So have fun with that. Like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, awesome. That kind of made it feel a little bit more real. See if that works. That might take a second. But yeah, I work with my brother now, so a couple hours a week, nothing crazy. Just something that I'm able to do for a little bit of supplemental income, and then doing this, and then the big announcement, which if you saw the Instagram post, is the little teaser, is 1 week from tomorrow. I guess I'll go. Let me just make sure full screen. Okay, great. 1 week from tomorrow, a new podcast will come out on the Judgy's podcast umbrella. That's right. Ali, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Just in time for the announcement. A new podcast will be launched under the Judgy's podcast umbrella. The Judgy's, of course, is not going anywhere. The Judgy's will never go anywhere. The Judgy's are forever. Judgy's is love. Judgy's is life. But I am launching a new podcast. So it's me and Emo Joseph Dubé from Joseph Dubé on Joseph Dubé Music on Instagram, Joseph Dubé on Spotify, Emo Joseph TikTok on Twitter, and Emo Joseph on TikTok. We are launching a podcast. We had fun with our podcast, or when he was on, and so we decided to launch one. Everything's gonna officially start going tomorrow. But it's been really fun. It's been really, really fun working with them. We've got a bunch of episodes bulked up, and then, you know, I think it's gonna be really, really, like, the first 2 episodes of like anything. You know, we're still trying to find our footing, but once we get our footing under, like, episode 3 and 4 and 5, they're so good, and we recorded episodes 1 and 2 way back in August, beginning of August, I think. And so I still had COVID brain fog, and so, in my opinion, you know, it's the first 2 episodes. We're still trying to find our footing, but we went into episode 3 hot and ready to go, and it was so fun. Like, after we recorded episode 3 and 4, I like texted Joe and I was like, dude, I really I really think this podcast is gonna be really good. So yeah, I'm very, very excited. So we're doing the official launch tomorrow. Which is very exciting again. But yeah, how about a Ricky and Aurora podcast? Hey, if they want to do it, they can do it. There's nothing stopping them. Aurora definitely wouldn't have time right now. So Nick, of course, has the baby. But Tanik, thank you for the resub. Yo, 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 yo to you. Yeah, the goal for now is, what's it about? So the show it's very loose. Yeah, my last day of work was last Friday. We'll be on YouTube. Yep, it's gonna be launched the exact same way. We're going back to the old editing style before we had the borders, because we have more time to do it. It was just a time thing. So now we have more time to spend on it, that we can go back. And so the new podcast, it's called Friend Requests with Josh and Joe. That's what I was gonna do. I'm gonna make a command. I'm gonna make a command in a chat here once I get Stream Elements working out, and it'll give you all the links to go follow all the stuff. We're making the official announcements tomorrow. So technically, Joe doesn't even know I'm doing this. But we're doing it tomorrow. So it's gonna be exactly the same. So YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all the stuff. I don't know exactly what the rollout for stuff is gonna be like for it, like how often we'll be posting to Twitter and stuff like that, but Patreon, all that good stuff. Thank you for the congratulations. It's exciting. I really think it'll be really good. It'll be really great. So I'm gonna make a command. It'll give you links to there you go. So if we do ! friends, it'll give you the socials. The typical midnights, what's going on is I'm announcing that I'm starting a new podcast. Sam, I am the man. Thank you. Or welcome. I wish that were me. I'm about to go off on my boss. Yeah, it was very fun to be able to quit my job, you know? Like, I guess I should actually link it. It was scary, but at the same time it was like cathartic and like you know, it's one of those things that everybody wishes they can do, so but yeah, my boss was pretty pissed. He's like, "Well, that fucking sucks." I was like, "Oh, I don't know." I was like, "I think it'll be fine." He's like, "No, it sucks for us." And I was like, "Yeah, well, maybe you should have paid me more. I don't know." I gave him 2 weeks. I didn't want to burn any bridges because, you know, worst case scenario, if I need a job, it's a nice job to work for. But I didn't want to burn any bridges, but they were not slave fuck capitalism. Absolutely, they were not happy that I was leaving because they're getting fucked. You know, but that's capitalism. Like, absolutely. All right, so now if you do ! friends, you'll see the all the socials there. And I can give you guys a little bit of a preview of what's going on. So let me pull some stuff up. So we've got 5 episodes recorded now. We're recording another one tomorrow, although I think it's gonna be a bonus episode. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna show you guys the intro and the logo and stuff. I shared the logo in the Discord a couple weeks ago. Tanic, thank you for the gifted sub. Draw, say thank you. Say thank you to Tanic. I'll show you the logo here. I designed the logo. Joe did the music, of course. This right? Here we go. So here's our logo. Never give a 2-week notice. Yeah, I just didn't want to burn any bridges. There's our logo. I designed it. We went for the 90s retro theme is what we're going for. He's got the jean jacket and the pit vipers on. Then there's just me with glasses. So it's friend request, subtitled from Josh and Joe. I was really proud of me doing this little neon sign. Tried to model it after like a friend request message that you'd get on your iPhone. And I'll show you guys the intro. The intro right now is pretty basic. And then once we get more videos, 2 J names. Somebody commented actually, if you go to, or Joe made a friends only post on TikTok. And I think Rachel Thneed Girl commented like, "Man, I'm really about to listen to a fucking podcast with 2 J names, huh?" So 2 white guys with J names, but you know, we can't help it. So let's see here. Let me go to the intro here. And for shorthand, we're calling it Fridge Pod. So FRJJ Fridge Pod. It's just easier than saying, you know, friend request from Josh and Joe. So if you hear me say Fridge Pod, that's what I'm talking about. So let's do intro video. Let me pull it up. So Joe made the theme, and then I just bought incoming friend request. So that's the idea. Yeah. So he actually sampled his Game Boy for this beginning part, and I gave it that little flash. I don't. If anybody in here knows, or like, I don't think that this flash is like gonna be like an issue for people with epilepsy. But if it is, please let me know, because that's what I'm really worried about. I don't know. I think it should be okay. I made it pretty slow, but I just got a random 90s background video that I paid for. I created a trial account and then took it. And then as it goes on, we're gonna do like, I'm gonna take clips, kind of like how we have the judges, but a little bit more advanced. Where we'll have like flying boxes of us from the show, clips sort of like flying around. So yeah, the judges cinematic universe is expanding. So kind of like this concept. If you've ever seen the nature walk video. So how it's going here. So it'll kind of be that same thing where the we'll be floating across, and that's the idea. So yeah, it's very exciting. I'm very excited for you guys to listen to it. It's of course I'm biased. I'm probably the most biased person, but I think it's going to be a really good show. We've got a really cool guest on episode 4. Oh, thank you, Annie, for letting me know. I was really worried about that because I didn't want to have like, the intro of the podcast have a fucking flash. I'm sure you've already been asked, but why did you quit your job? You don't mind asking? It was just too much. I didn't have any time. Like my schedule before I quit my job was like, so I work out 3 days a week. So, and 2 of those are during the weekdays. So my schedule was I would get up at 6 in the morning, go to work, wouldn't get home until 4. Tuesdays and Thursdays I would work out from 4 to 6:30 or 4 to 6. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, my days went from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. completely booked, working out. And then I had to, you have to edit the podcast. I had to edit TikToks. Streaming every other Wednesday, of course, takes up, 3 hours minimum-ish, stuff like that. So, and then you throw on like Patreon episodes, recording the podcast. So every Friday was taken. Every Thursday and Tuesday was taken completely. Every other Wednesday was taken completely, which left just Monday nights, which Aurora is actually busy on now. And then like Saturday, and then Sunday is football. So like I didn't have any personal time. I mean, football now is personal time, but you understand. And so it just became too much. We're fortunate enough to be in a position to where I was able to quit my job. And I'm still working a ton. I work on the podcast. I work on the new podcast. I work with my brother as at his small business. So that's the goal. It's like I'm still working a ton. And honestly, I didn't really gain much more free time, but I'm gaining a lot more time to put into the show, which in the long run will benefit me more than spending 10 hours of my day going to work, going to a job where, again, I was making decent money. My salary was $55,000, which was, really good, but it just wasn't good for me or my personal relationships. Was the guest the Queen's last interview? No, but I wonder if Joe would be mad if I gave you guys a sneak preview. The guest was not the Queen. I wish it was. But we went into the week that the Queen died, we recorded. Like the day that the Queen died, we recorded. And we both went into it unbeknownst to each other with the same bit in mind, which was like not kind of bring it up, like kind of skating around the idea of like, did you hear the news? And it was kind of funny. Yeah, Draw, it was you. You're not supposed to leak it, Draw. What are you doing? Let me make this bigger. What's the concept of the show I might have missed? So the concept is very loose. I mean, it's really hard to explain because like my parents keep asking me too, and like people ask me like, "Oh, what's it about?" And like with the Judgies, it's obviously a very structured show, and the structure leads itself to like obviously I like the Judgies, otherwise I wouldn't be making it. But when it's that rigid, sometimes it sort of pigeonholes you, and like there's really good points of the Judgies where it's like, man, I really just kind of wanted to talk about this one specific tangent for the rest of the time, but we can't because that's not what the show is. So the show for Fridge Pod was ideally like, so it's friend requests from Josh and Joe. It's exploring Joe and I forming a friendship is kind of like the basis of it because like we don't know each other that well. Like we didn't know each other that well going into it. And if you guys want to follow, do exclamation mark friends in the chat. We didn't know each other, like, and like for somebody that you're gonna start a business venture with, it's sort of one of those things where it's like kind of funny how we're starting a podcast. You know what I mean? And so that was the base idea behind it was like it's just gonna be a show about how we become how we become friends. And that's the really loose thing. The first episode we take like a New York Times or like I think he pulled up a BuzzFeed of like things to ask on a first date. And so we like played around with that. The second episode we tell stories about actually a story I've never told on the Judgies or anywhere, I don't think, because I always forget about the story. But he tells a story about how he was friends with Tayson Day like on Twitter in like 2014. And then I told a story about how, so there are friend requests from Tayson Day, and then I had a friend request from Haley Williams from Paramore, which is actually very interesting because Paramore just dropped a new song today. When's first episode coming out? First two are coming out next Thursday. Everywhere you get podcasts. First two episodes. So I tell a story about how I was friends with Haley Williams on Facebook in like 2009. So yeah, that's like the idea is episode 3, we went into it and we are like, let's just do bits. And then episode 4, we had a guest on. We talk about like being recognized in public. And then 5, we went into it and he's like, where I have the plan of what we're doing. You'll know it when I pull it out. And it was really funny. It was a really funny bit that he did. So let me pull up. I wonder if Joe would be mad if I did a little bit of a leak. Bernie Sanders' girlfriend. I have a podcast launching next Thursday. Me and Emo Joseph have a new podcast coming. Oh, and Emo Joseph will be on the bonus episode that comes out tomorrow as well. And we talk a little bit about it on there. Hello, Mom. Welcome. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a leak for being here. Once my Resolve opens, I have so many things open on my computer, it's kind of dying. How's life with electricity? Electricity's good. If it eventually opens up. I have so many programs, and my computer was already not doing great. Let's see here. Let me find a good moment. Paramore. Pop punk. I think we should call it what's I think we should call it what's the app? What's the app we're Yeah, bonus episodes should come out tomorrow if I get it all uploaded tonight, which I should. Now I don't have an excuse. That's the scary part. I don't have an excuse to be late. Okay. So I had to do a weird Zoom, so the rest of the episodes won't be this. We had, of course, in true Judgy's fashion, we had a ton of technical difficulties on the first 2 episodes. So here's a little clip that I think is funny, and I hope it's funny, I guess. This would be embarrassing if it's not funny. I think all funny or hot people deserve IBS.
Yeah, it keeps me grounded. You know, yeah. I go through my day and I'm like, wow, I'm so funny and hot. The collar on my shirt is not rumpled at all, and I'm so well put together. And I've definitely been shaving this week, and Oops, my runny poo-poos.
Gotta get to the bathroom.
I gotta run.
There you go. Of course we talk about shit on the first one. Of course we talk about shit on the first one. I thought that was really funny. So a fun little behind the scenes backstory. We're launching with the same company that we have Judges on. It's Cloud 10 Media. Cash Money, thank you for the follow. Welcome. And they were like trying to do a press release. Hello, Empty Frog, welcome. They were trying to do like a press release, like, you know, like, oh hey, what do you like, what they wanted us to do, like what our socials were, like what our credentials were, why we started the podcast, and then they just said quotes. And I was like, quotes? What does that mean? What am I supposed to know what quotes is? Is this quotes from the show? And so I wrote up the little thing, sent it, and I sent quotes from the show because I just figured that's what they mean by quotes. Let me show you guys the quotes that I pulled for the show. Let's see here. I pulled these 3 quotes from the show, which one is you just saw. I think every hot or funny person deserves IBS. Yeah. I did. So one is, I think every hot or funny person deserves IBS. Another one was, this is Joe. I was a little late because I ate a big boy sandwich and took a big boy nap today. And then 3, I put, hey, Game Boy Mom, I'm gay. Because it was a really funny out of context quote. And then they go, thanks so much. Do you have any quotes as to why you started the podcast? I was like, oh, that's what you meant by quotes. What a horrible 3 quotes to put out of context. To be like, oh yeah, this is why we started the podcast. Because, hey, Game Boy Mom, I'm gay. So yeah, I know. I'm very excited. After we recorded 3 and 4, it's after I recorded 4, I was like, dude, this is Will with the Prime sub? What in the world? Is that part of my payment? Can you get a soundbite of Christian saying fuckers? I'll tell you what, I'll write that down. And next time I see Christian saying fuckers, I'll clip it. You know, it was really awkward. It was really awkward for me without the context of like, I was like, what do you mean quotes? Like, what does quotes mean? But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be great. So we're announcing it technically tomorrow. I think Joe is editing TikToks tonight. And then yeah, we're gonna have some stuff up tomorrow. So you'll actually get previews on the TikTok tonight. Yeah, that's why we started the pod, was because, hey, Game Boy Mom, I'm gay, of course. So yeah. Joe's texting me right now. It was so funny. Is the name of it good? Are you talking about the show? Were you not here when I did the show title? One last time here. I'm sure I'll pull it up a ton of times, and then as people roll in. But this is the podcast. We're calling it Fridge Pod. Fridge Pod is the shorthand for just friend requests from Josh and Joe. Oh, am I? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Yeah, we went with the 90s vibe. We both decided. You guys want to see the original one? And this wasn't like I'm done. This was like the original concept art that I came up with. It's so bad compared to this, which I mean that's good, right? That it was so bad. This is the first one that I ended on. When I was like, okay, what do we need to do? So I had the base idea. I was like, okay, iPhone green, iPhone chat bubble, and then I wanted our heads poking out of the bubble, and you can tell it's not done because of how choppy it is. And then I knew the rough idea of how I wanted the text layered and like everything. And then Joe was like, "It feels flat. Let's do something with it." And I was in total agreement with him. And so he's like, "Let's go neon," because I didn't know what to do about this blue color. It didn't look good. I didn't know what color to put there. And so he's like, "Let's just do 90s vibrant pink colors." And so I went with that. I mean, just look at the difference. I mean, look at the difference here. That way, I'm so glad we went through and punched it up because it just looks so much better. It'll look so much better on like a phone app and everything. This feels scary, yeah. Well, you know, I went red because like that's the color of the notification and whatever. Obviously, did I actually quit my job? I did quit my job. I should have just made the logo the Pokemon Crystal. I think we might have gotten sued. I think technically that's not possible. I shared it to Discord and then they said you should pixelate it, and it just, I don't know. It didn't work for us. Mainly because when it's on a phone screen, it'll be like half the size of this, and you can't even see who we are at that point. And like, what's the point of having facial recognition from being online if you can't tell who we are? That was our thinking. So, and one last time, we'll get the theme song going here with the intro video.
Incoming friend request.
There you go. Very excited. Joe did a great job on the theme. It's another thing where he had the original theme and then we punched it up and got it all going again. Yeah, I mean, I still have a job. I still work with my brother, so it's not like I'm completely disconnected. Yep, it's all vid. Yep, it's all video. It's all same thing as Judgies. You'll be able to consume it the exact same way as Judgies. Poop Girl, thank you for the follow. But yeah, very exciting. I think you guys really like it. Like I said, 1 and 2, the general advice for when you're creating a podcast, is they say like create 10 episodes, throw them away, and then start. And I think with the Judgies, it took us a bit. It took us like, I think 3 episodes until we found out, like, because I think the first 3 we each read stories, right? Kind of how we do the bonus episodes. And then we found our stride and we got better. With this, I think the same thing. The first 2 episodes, we're finding our stride. I still had COVID brain, so like I wasn't fully there. And then episode 3 and 4 and 5 were just, those are the ones where I was like, holy shit, like this is actually going to be a very fun, good podcast. You missed the announcement. Sorry, I'm new podcast next Thursday. !friends is the command here. I'm gonna put it in the title. But we're not just here to announce podcasts. We also play video games on this stream. So I'll of course be welcome to talk about it as we're going. But I'm gonna start going on Pokemon Crystal here. Any advice for someone who wants to start a podcast? Just do it. I know it's lame. I know it's really lame to just say like, oh, just do it. But if you don't do it, then you'll never know like what, like you have to start. Like you have to start. Otherwise it's just going to sit forever. And it might suck and it might like be, you know, it might never go somewhere, but that's also, it's never going to go somewhere unless you start. But there's a ton of free resources like there's a ton of free resources you can use. Like we used DaVinci Resolve. Like I still use DaVinci Resolve as the editing software we use for video. Obviously, you don't need to start with video. If you just want to do audio. What's it called? What's this? Audacity is a free app. Audacity is free, so we used that for our when we were just audio. And it was a perfectly fine enough app to use. And then you can use Anchor is a free way to host your podcast through Spotify, and you can upload it to everything. That's what we used up until episode, I think 68 was our first one where we didn't use Anchor. So there's a ton of free stuff to it. So all you have to do is get a mic, you can use your phone actually, and just go. And like that's the advice is just start. What made me quit my job? Really what just made me quit my job is just I needed time. I didn't have any time. I didn't have any free time. It was just too much, and it was negatively affecting stuff, and I didn't want that to happen. So I'm trying to get these rare candies in, and then I think we'll be okay. I fixed it from last time. Yeah, I am now Christian Erica's full-time pillar. All right, perfect. Yeah. So yeah, it was just time. I just didn't have time to do anything. Ooh, there's a typo. None of you guys pointed out my typo. Perfect. Josh actually deleted all Judgy's episodes and blocked Christian Erica. Yeah, I cheated on my wife, and they kicked me out. I cheated on my wife with Aurora. Can I say, and like, who Chad? I don't know if you guys know who Chad is. Chad is amazing content creator. With my boss's daughter. I thought that was a Try Guy reference, but now I realize that was a podcast reference. Chad makes amazing videos. She's really great. Check her out. CHAD. She just made a TikTok, and this sort of happened when you're on 4 banners at your school. Hell yeah. The Try Babies, the Piss Guys. When we went to when did it just last happen? Oh, it was when Cody and Noel were kind of getting like soft canceled for a second because of their Andrew Tate comments. All of these people came out of nowhere and were just like, I always got a bad feeling about them. And it was just so like, okay guys, come on. And like a lot of people were saying about Ned. I'm not saying that's like right or wrong about Ned. Thank you, Half Squat, because I wasn't a Try Guy watcher, but man, Chad had a really funny TikTok about it. Just like kind of like softly criticizing that idea of like, oh, I actually knew that he was a bad guy, and this just now confirms it. But like, no, you didn't. You were just being a little parasocial. Yeah, obviously Cody and Noel are not actually canceled, but it's very interesting. I mean, Ned is just straight up like, it's kind of funny how that works, right? Like Ned is just straight up canceled. Like there's almost no coming back, like, which is kind of crazy compared to like what some other people do, and like still don't fully let it deplatform them or cancel them. It's just very, very, very like, yeah, that dude probably will never be able to make internet content again, which is, you know, I'm not saying that's good or bad, but no, you're fine. I understand what you're saying, T&J. I get it. You said no offense, so I didn't take any offense to it. Right, Lem, right. Like that was his thing, was like, my whole thing is that I'm a good person. And then it kind of similar, and not entirely, obviously, again, completely different situations, but kind of similar to Gus Johnson, right? Like Gus Johnson's whole thing was that he was like the cool, like nice Midwest boy. Like he was a nice little wit Midwest boy. And then it comes out like how bad of a person he was with Sabrina, and like that just completely tanks it. out of the chemistry field for 10 years. Oh, was he a chemist? Carbon, I see. So Carbon says cheating is shitty, but not something he should have lost his entire career over. Huge overreaction for everyone. I see what you're saying, because like I was sort of saying this to Aurora, where it's like it is interesting to me, like the reaction that people gave was like it was something in like, you know, like an essay or something like. But we have to remember too, like it's not like one, the whole like thing with it being with an employee is also bad. Like the power dynamics and everything is just weird, not good. But also like content creation is it's a privilege, right? Like, and like you only get canceled if you let it get canceled, if that makes sense. I don't mean that as a saying like cancellation is like good or bad again, but like I'm trying, like an example is like Louis CK, right? Like Louis CK creates content as a comedian, and he just sort of like didn't let it cancel him, and he's still doing major shows. What are we gonna call our rival? Oh, let's call him Ned. Perfect. Keemstar, right? Like Keemstar is a bad person, but he still does it because he doesn't care. But when you debase like a part of your platform, like your poor listeners, like it's okay for them to react and say like I don't want to listen to this person anymore. Like that's fair. And he has a choice. He can either try to repent and continue creating content and find people who don't care that much about it. Or he can just go and work like a 9 to 5 and go work in chemistry or whatever. Like that's everybody's fallback is always working a 9 to 5. So like he's not losing his whole livelihood. Like he took actions and his fan base is reacting to it. If it was just cheating, it'd be one thing, but he's been using his family for his own personal brand to the point of making merch around him being a married man for as long as he's been a public figure. Yeah, that's just a bad look, right? Like it's just not good. Like, I don't know. I get what you're saying though, Carbon. Like, I get what you're saying, because I sort of said the same thing where it's like you would think it's kind of similar to Adam Levine, although I think Adam Levine was less of a cancellation, or is it Levine? It was less of a cancellation and more of a like, right, like what a fucking weirdo. Why would you use this specific way to flirt with somebody? What a weird thing to say. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. And that's why you see like athletes. I think it's a really good comparison is athletes. Like an athlete will do terrible things and people will get outraged, but ultimately an athlete isn't there to like be a model person in a lot of ways, or I don't know if I'm saying that right. Like Ned specifically, like Lem said, was like, I love my wife. That's my thing. And then when he violates that as his personality, that's different compared to like an athlete. Their thing is making money for a billionaire by playing sports. And so like as long as that's not compromised with whatever act they did, then they'll continue to not be canceled. The name theme for this team is going to be cities, by the way. So I'm going to do Roanoke. Oh yeah, and like Hannah Cole says, like they needed to fire him. Like that wasn't a my chat stopped. There we go. They needed to fire him because of how bad of a look it is on their company. Like he was having an illicit affair with, even if it wasn't an affair, he was having an inappropriate relationship with an employee. Like there's a city in France called Pussy. If I catch one that starts with a P, I'll go Pussy. He'll definitely have enough money to not work for a while. Like he'll definitely be fine. You love Digimon? Is this Digimon to you? Yeah, and like I don't know. It's obviously everybody's got their own feelings on it. It's just very interesting to me. Like I do think people are inserting themselves a little bit too parasocially into the situation, but you're always gonna have that with online content creation. Like there's not really, unfortunately, any getting away from that. Maybe I should pull up the Chad video. We're working on getting Chad on our show, on both shows. Chad's a mutual of us and Emo Joseph. Did I get this? I forgot that I got that. Man, it's just that time of year though, where like so much drama is going on. Well, and like, somebody can we'll do an Ussy stream next time. Have a good one, Sal. Thanks for stopping in. If I lose this run or whenever I do my next Pokemon game, we'll do an Ussy. We'll do an Ussy one. Was the person who he cheated with, was her name Ariel? Or is it Alex? I'm not entirely in on the thing, right? But I hear that person isn't fired yet. Which somebody was like complaining, like, why can't you fire her? And like from a company standpoint, you can't fire her. She technically, through the company, didn't do anything wrong. So his wife is Ariel, the girl she was Alex. Like, Alex didn't get fired, right? And so like they kind of can't do anything because like from a company perspective, you kind of can't do that because she was being taken advantage of by the boss. So, I mean, that's just corporate bullshit, right? Like, I mean, I say corporate bullshit. I don't think people should just be able to get fired for no reason. Yeah, she was engaged for like 11. She was like dating the guy for like 10 years, right? Yeah, the whole situation is fucked. The whole situation is absolutely insane. It really is crazy. No, she won't stay. She'll have to resign. And like the thing is they can't force her to resign though, legally. Like that would just be too much muddiness there. But she'll resign. She'll probably get like a severance and everything, but she was a creepy to other women as per a comment on a Patreon post of theirs. Of whose? Whose Patreon post? Yeah, like that's the thing, right? Like just fucking break up. Like I say that when we do like when we talk about it on the judges, it's like just break up. Don't cheat. Just break up. It's like and somebody like asked this, I can't remember where, on the Try Guys Patreon post. Oh, really? Yeah, that's pretty. I remember somebody asked us like, why do people cheat? It's like there's a societal pressure to like not break up with people, and like being single is scary. So Ned also often mentioned in their podcast how he was their HR since they didn't technically have one. I think he had a lot of the business. And oof, that's really bad. No, he got let go from the company because he was an owner. So he was relieved of his. How do they word it? Like when you're an owner, you can't get fired, but like he got let go. Like he got relieved of his duties, and like they didn't allow him to do like the bullshit. Like I'm resigning. I think they literally like kind of voted him out. Thing. See how they worded it. Oh, okay. So they said Ned Fulmer is no longer working with the Try Guys. As a result of a thorough internal review, we do not see a path forward together. So like they can't fire him, but they could kind of be like, you can't work with us anymore, and we're not going to pay you because you're not going to be in the videos. And so they weren't going to allow him to do the like, I'm resigning and like being able to partner a little bit of like decency with it. They were just straight up like, no, we're just not going to work with you anymore. People cheat because they think you can get away with it, but in reality, people aren't even a fraction as sneaky. Yeah, Carbon, yeah. You ever cared about your partner? Why would you cheat? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, and it's, I can tag you in the screenshot of the Patreon comment. If you want, sure, we can read it on stream here. Tag the judge's Twitter if it's on Twitter. I mean, TNJ, that's probably what it was like, you know, if they have 4 owners, and I don't know how their corporate system is set up, if they have shareholders or not, or like if they're with a company, but if it's just them as the 4 owners, the other 3 owners can just vote him out as an owner. And like, he can't be forced to give up his stake, but they can say like, we're not giving you revenue because you're not making the content, you're not involved in the process. Yeah, no, I've never cheated on anybody. I don't think I've been cheated on. It's questionable though, but like, I'm in a mental state of like, if somebody were to cheat on me, not that Aurora whatever would, I wouldn't think. I'm in the mental state of being able to tell myself for the most part, like, VJ, thank you for the follow, welcome. Also, Half Squat, welcome. It is like a failure on their part, and it's really hard. And again, I guess I haven't been cheated on, so like maybe I'd feel differently. But you know, it's a failure on the person doing the cheating part, and like, it's really shitty. You shouldn't ever feel like if you have been cheated on or like you are in the future, like, remind yourself like that's a them thing. That's them not being mature enough or like enough of a decent human being to break up with you and like treat you with respect. So passive income, that's an interesting question. I don't know. And again, the he might, but like I'm sure there's a way for them to cut that stuff off. But he'll be okay like for a while, like, you know, it's not like he's going to immediately be on the streets of wherever they live. Like, he'll be okay. I mean, yeah, it's entirely embarrassing. But, you know, a lot of people get away with it, as somebody said. Like, people get away with it, especially people in power. So, like, you know, it's not embarrassing if you're getting away with it. It's like, kudos to, you know, people will say, like, what other choice did they have? But kudos to the Try Guys for actually, like, ousting him and, like, getting it all under control. And, like, everything. Doing it the right way. I always said I would leave someone who cheated, and then when my ex cheated, I stayed for another year. So I never judge those who try to stay. I hope Ariel leaves them, but they do have kids. Yeah, and like Ariel should get like a fat, like, if they get divorced, like she'll get a decent amount of money there. Like, she'll be okay too. Obviously, again, you wouldn't want it to happen. That's the thing, but like ultimately, everything will probably be okay for them and the kids. But not that you want that to happen, but. All right, have a good one, Cheeto. Thanks for hanging out. Can't wait for the judges scandal when you cheat on Christian. I kind of am, right, with my podcast. I don't know if my mom is still in here, but when I first told her that I was starting a podcast, she kind of reacted like I was cheating on Christian. I was like, yeah, I'm starting a. When was this? Father's Day? Was it back in like June? And I told her, I was like, yeah, I'm starting a podcast, and she's like, oh, do Christian and Erica know? And I was like, what? Yeah, why would? But also, why does that matter? Go to Taco Bell or McDonald's for dinner? Guys, I know on the podcast, you know, I'm a big Taco Bell guy. I also fucking love McDonald's, mainly because of their dollar drink sizes. But I would say it feels like a McDonald's now. But yes, of course, I was in full discussion with Christian and Erica about the podcast. What I hear, Ariel's really good friends with some of the other Try Guys and wives, so I'm sure they'll always make sure she's taken care of. Yeah. I mean, what's a Z city? What's a city that starts with a Z? As like shitty as it all is, like she's gonna have a good support system and everything. Because was she part of the videos, right? Like I've seen videos with her in them. Was she like part of the Try Guys, or was she just like in some of them? Taco Bell soft tacos with ketchup on them, huh? I could see it. I wouldn't do it, but I could see it. The Taco Bell beef would be really good with with ketchup, I bet. Has her own podcast and a cookbook. Well, good. Yeah, she'll be okay. She'll probably be able to, again, not something that she would want to have happened, but she'll probably be able to honestly profit off of it. So she'll be able to recoup some of that. You guys think of a Z name while I read this for a city. I can't think of any cities with a Z. Let's read the tweet first. Another person talking about Ned and cheating rumors with other women. I'm on the Patreon. They've been late with videos, not posting as much. Something's been up this whole month. Absolutely heartbroken for Ariel and the boys. Hope she is off the internet surrounded by her people right now. I'm also hoping that the other rumors about Ned are not true, particularly that during a tour, y'all were at a bar and Ned was creeping on a girl and trying to kiss her neck as she kept trying to move away from him on the dance floor. They also allege that they asked, is he always this sloppy? To which the one with the glasses replied, unfortunately. If true, guys, would none of you stop him from harassing someone? Praying it's because y'all didn't see him doing it. Yeah, I think this is where it gets dangerous. Like this person's comment, like this part, like from like that's a big jump, and like I don't know if you can like start shitting on the other Try Guys. Oh, well, there it is, bigger. Where she says, if true, guys, why would none of you stop him? Like they would, and like they did. They stopped him when they did it, and like kind of like how that person said, like they were in their relationship. I don't want to equate that, but yeah, it's difficult. Like I've been in that situation as a teenager, not as an adult, where I've had friends like doing shit like that, and like you just it's a harder situation. And unfortunately, I wish it were easier. But it's tough. And like again, I think you should, but that's completely speculation. Zurich, that's a great one. Thank you. It's all in that company. I'm not sure how her shares are. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think she'll be okay when it all comes to fruition. Oh, did I miss this encounter? I did miss this encounter. That's okay. I want to fight this guy. I don't. What do you think of the whole Dahmer thing? I haven't looked much into it now, and you can let me know if I am wrong here. But effectively, they made a new Dahmer movie / Netflix thing, and it centers on a story of one particular family, and now they're getting harassed again. Is that right? I quit my job. This is my first week without a job. It was a series. I mean, that's sort of been culminating, right? Like with how big true crime is. Hasn't it been kind of culminating where people have kind of always been calling it out? Like a lot of true crime people like are kind of really happy when crime happens because they get to make a story about it. I don't know. I don't fully buy into that, but I don't need to go in here yet. It's definitely an interesting look at it. Really good, but it's terrifying. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a true crime watcher. Like I wouldn't not watch it. Like anytime I have watched something, I thought I get interested. Very gripping content. It's not something I seek out. I mean, it's tough. It's one of those things too, where it's like, it's all going to come down to capitalism. If people can make money off of stuff, they're going to keep doing stuff until they push the envelope too far, and that's probably what's happening there. Tons of families get mad about pods and stuff if there's no permission. I believe they didn't talk to them. Yeah, it's always going to happen. Whoops, I didn't name that. That's okay. We won't use it. We don't need it. The last one I watched was the Zac Efron one that he did as What's that guy? Not Dahmer. Who's the other? Ted Bundy. That was a good movie. I thought he did a really good job. Finally cover other cases. It's just one of the big ones, right? Like, same reason why you would do the Zodiac Killer. Everybody knows the name. You're not gonna like click on the documentary of like why this other person killed someone. It doesn't have as many clicks. Gonna go to sleep. Good night. Good night, Sam. Thanks for hanging around. I'll let Joe know that you loved him. Hopefully as a fan. Is this my favorite Naman game? I think Red is still my favorite, even though it's like got a lot wrong with it. People have always romanticized killers, right? Like even when Columbine happened, there are people like there's just some sick people who like talking about these cases either through podcasts or articles inevitable and ultimately not wrong to do, but doing these series that involve graphic recreations of the murders is actually so messy. Yeah, I mean, like, I get it. It is just one of those things too, where it's like the story is important. You know, I don't know. It's tough. I don't really have a hard opinion. It's one of those things where I don't really have a hard opinion on whether or not it's unethical or not. Because like the people who it's about, like if they get doxxed in any way or like, you know, their names are released, like I could see how that would be a living hell. Do you play all the mainline Pokemon games just retro? Yeah, my idea here is, so I already Nuzlocked hardcore Nuzlocke. I'm doing a hardcore Nuzlocke. I already hardcore Nuzlocked Red. I want to try to hardcore Nuzlocke a game in each generation before the new game comes out in November. So this is my second attempt because my last stream I died because I didn't hack in rare candies because I couldn't get it to work. So now I've got it to work. Bert Scoot, thank you for listening. Hello, Barbs. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. We're talking about serial killers. And also have a new podcast coming out next Thursday. ! Friends to get the links. I also think that this story's been told over and over. Not everyone knows the details to be mad about a new telling and only this specific one. Yeah, it's true, I guess. It could be that, you know, maybe this one put a little bit too much. And again, I don't know the controversy, but, you know, maybe this one doxed them a little bit more than like other ones do. So like now they actually do fear more for their life or whatever. Because, you know, like as there are people who simp over Jeffrey Dahmer, there are also going to be people who want to go like, you know, do whatever. I don't know. Would I consider myself a Barb? Hell yeah, I'm a Barb. Now, do you mean Barb as in a fan of Backpack Barbs or a Barb as in a fan of Nicki Minaj? I'm not much of a Nicki Minaj fan. I don't dislike Nicki Minaj. Just they're mad because this is a telling from the victim's POV and they didn't ask permission or inform the family. Yeah, that's pretty strange. That's pretty strange, but a farb? A farb. So that was the best starter. So I didn't say this because we were talking about it. And I don't know how much people actually care about the Pokemon that's happening in the background. But last time I had a Cyndaquil, and so the rival had a Totodile. And I think Totodile isn't the best because there's so many good water types that you get early on. Like Slowbro, Wooper, you get a Gyarados. But I happened to catch a Poliwag. But the rival having a Feraligatr is scary. And so by the rival now having a Meganium, it's way less scary because Meganium fucking sucks. Farb is a fan of Phoebe Bridgers. Well, I guess you caught me. I'm not a Farb because I didn't know that. I've never listened to a Phoebe Bridgers song. I love her old music, but once she married a sex offender, who was she married to? that a fat barb? Who is she married to? I don't remember. I don't know much. Don't cancel me. I don't know much about much. I like her song "Beauty and a Beat" that she made with Justin Bieber. That's that's my extent of knowledge. All right. What's really fun is last time I did this, I got to keep the eyes out for Selena. That's right. I was a big Justin Bieber fan. Okay, I think the move is Julio just died. What the fuck? September is just like, oh man, we forgot to put in drama. Let's just put on the last 2 weeks. Holy shit. R.I.P. Coolio. Who is Coolio? Coolio made Gangster's Paradise. You're living most our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Heart Attack. 59, damn. Coolio's a rapper from Compton. Yeah, hey, App Squad, I didn't want to make that joke, but you can make it. I requested Super Freaky Girl from a DJ at a bar last week, and he looks me up and down and goes, no surprise there. Now, is that a Farb song or a Coolio song? Because you could get me with either. All right. This is our first gym battle, guys. Let's get some... I turned the volume down. Reservation Dogs? No, I haven't. Remember people thinking that people exaggerating how pre-presented his voice was, but now listening to it is... Oh, Justin Bieber's? Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad. All right. So, I did this method last time where Pidgey is just going to spam Mud Slap, and so the idea here is just get off as many tackles as I can with Geodude, and then switch out when I can't take it anymore. So I'm going to take 3 Mud Slaps here. And then swap out. Because it's going to use Mud Slap. I can get a free swap to a flying type. Because it's immune. That's always the goal here. So now I don't take damage. I guess I'll just tackle. And then I'll see what move it's going to use. I might just stay in. If it's just going to use tackle, yeah. We'll be all right. All right, so now here's the hard part. Because he has a Pidgeotto. This thing does a lot of damage. So my first thing here is I'm going to growl. It's going to do a lot of damage to my Hoothoot. Sydney, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. That was a crit. Perfect. All right. So we'll just use a growl. I'm not going to sack anything. I don't need to. And we'll just swap right into him. So he's going to use Gust again. It's going to do a decent amount of damage, but I got him growled, and Georgia has a lot of HP and defense. Oh, that did nothing. Sweet. So now it's going to use Mud Slap. But I'll just go for a tackle and just, again, try to hit through. And there's only 10 Mud Slap HP. So that's 4 Mud Slaps. I could stall him out. I really need to. But this next one, you've never followed someone? Yeah, I can see everything. It's gonna activate my berry, so that's 5 Mud Slaps right there. I guess I could just stall them all out and make this super easy, huh? This is gonna be 6. That's going to use Gust. Carbon Doggy, thank you for the Prime sub. Yeah, there's only 10. That was 6 mud slaps. This can be 7. Oh, you're all good, Carbon. It's all good. It is September, so everything is cheaper. Not How Girls Work. Is that similar to Bad Women's Anatomy? So I could play this a lot more riskily, but it's safer for me to just play like this and make sure that I don't lose any mons here. Because there's a lot of good mons that you get earlier. What did you miss? I'm starting a new podcast! ! Friends for the socials. It'll be a full launch tomorrow, or a full like announcement tomorrow across the socials, with little clips on TikTok and such on FRJJ Pod on TikTok. But it's me and Emo Joseph, and we are having fun. What was that? 8? Really should have been counting better. How am I feeling about the Colts this year? I'm sad. I'm sad that they lost or didn't win their first 2. But I think they'll bounce back and probably make the playoffs just because the AFC South is dog shit. That's like the best part about being a Colts fan is their division is so bad. I think this is 9 if I counted correctly, which there's a very good chance I did. Similar, but Bad Women's Anatomy has kind of turned into a Q&A sub with people confusing how their bodies work because of bad health education, not how girls work is very interesting. Oh, okay, cool. It happens with every sub when it gets too big. The second loss was so embarrassing. Oh, I know. I mean, Colton losing to the Jaguars is like rain in Miami. Like, it's just inevitable. It's... I don't know what it is. Something in the water, I guess. Okay. So, if I counted correctly, he should be out of mud slaps. Gust has 35 PP. So, I don't think a Gust is going to kill my Zubat, so I'm just going to test to make sure. Because I don't want to get mud slapped on Geodude. Okay, cool. Good thing I switched. Now that should be 10. Can gym leaders run out of PP in Gen 2? I think they can. Josh, can you tell me why there are NFL games that take place in London? It's part of just NFL trying to like expand and make more money. It still has a mud slap? Not ideal. That has to be the last one. If it doesn't, then they can't run out. Okay, that was his last one. It's just the NFL trying to make more money and, you know, open to more markets. There actually used to be an NFL Europe in the late 90s, in early 2000s, that was ran by Oliver Luck. And then it was sort of like a developmental league, but it folded. And so they play games in Wembley Stadium to like garner more fans over the seas. They also play a game every year in Mexico now, and there's talks to get a game in Canada. Alright, I think I'm dead to a crit now. So I'm going to swap to... I'm going to swap to Totodile here. He shouldn't be able to kill me, and then I'll be able to take him out. It's a very safe way to play Falconer, but Falconer is scary. Falconer is really hard, in my opinion. If you're hardcore Nuzlocking. If you're just going for it, like I could have beat him a lot quicker, but... It's a lot safer just to swap around and be safe. Like, Totodile might have been able to do it, but dealing with accuracy drops is not fun. McDonald's has been acquired. Let's go. All right. There we go. First badge acquired. So now, if you're not familiar, if anybody cares about Pokemon, how hardcore Nuzlocks work, you do a self-imposed level cap. That way, the fact that you hacked in rare candies doesn't matter. The level cap where was 9 because Falconer's highest level Pokemon was 9. And now we're going to 6 because the next gym leader is a Pokemon ace of level 16. Yeah, they play a game in Mexico City every year. I think they do 2 in England now. Yeah, your fantasy league up and running thanks to my direction. I've only won 1 week, but I'm finding it very engaging because I keep losing by only like 5 points. Yeah, if you're not playing, like if your league is similarly skilled to everybody else and like, you know, pretty close, it's really engaging. If you have like one person who's really good or you're the one bad person, it sucks, and that can happen through luck or skill, but fantasy football is really fun. I really enjoy fantasy football. Saints are playing the Vikings in London. Yeah. I think there's 2 every year because the Jags play in London every year, so there'll be another one. Who do we want? I'm gonna teach Mudslap to Geodude. And Geodude is probably one of the best encounters early on. He's really good. I mean, you just saw me like pretty much completely abuse Falconer with Geodude there. That's what he can do. Now, I forgot that this isn't exactly... Oh man, my team is really bad for Sprout Tower. Zubat's probably going to carry me through this. It's going to be slow. Are you doing any streams with Joe? We haven't talked about it, but we'll do some eventually. Liz Brooker, welcome. Thank you for the follow. We did the one stream on my birthday with him. But I mean, you know, we'll figure it all out. Like it's still in the infancy, and like when we first started the podcast, when we first started recording, we decided we're going to do bi-weekly episodes. So every other week we would release one episode. And we're already bulked up to where if we did that, we would be like the one that we're recording tomorrow would come out like near Christmas. So we decided that was, you know, maybe we don't need to be bulking so much. But I think we're immediately now. So we're going weekly now. And I think we're also doing bonus episodes right away on Patreon. So and that'll be more frequently than the judges actually. It's a lot easier to like schedule shit when it's only 2 people. But yeah, so with Joe, we'll do that stuff and everything. Like once the podcast shows that it's like profitable and like we can commit more time to it, that I did quit my job. Thank you, Marie. Yeah, I quit my job. This is my first week without a job. I work with my brother. I keep saying without a job. I probably work more now than I did. I probably worked more this week than I did last week, but it feels more productive. It feels better. You have a friend that's a massive Broncos fan, so he's going to go there. Oh, do you live in the UK, Nicole? I didn't know that. So I'm not full-time podcasting. I'm getting a second Pokemon. But, oh, John, I never got back to you. Sorry about that. I got really distracted. Pokemon checked. I've got Georgia, the Geodude, Roanoke, the Rattata, Tokyo, the Totodile, Paris, the Poliwag, and Zurich, the Zubat, and then the egg that is Togepi. What did I do with my brother? He started a company where, so I mean it's kind of a long story. Do you want the long story or the short story? The long story is he's flying from Wyoming to the UK. That's what I thought. I thought you were an American. So my brother started a podcast. I'm sorry, my brother started a business. He's always been very like whenever we played games together, I would do the farming. Like when we played Minecraft a ton on public servers, I would do the farming and the mining, and he would do the selling. Like he would go do all the bartering and stuff. So he's always been into that. And so he started doing like reselling a lot, and not like scalping, like being like super shitty, like, you know, people who put the stuff on Depop and overprice it by $1 million. But just like he would go find some stuff, make $25 on an item here and there just to supplement his income. And then he saw a gap in the market through his normal 9 to 5, he works in ad ops for local companies, just like cold calling companies and trying to get them to update their ads from 2002. And he saw like a gap in the market and like a sort of an overlap where he was like, "Hey, I can totally just like." He had a truck. He's like, "I can just go to people's houses when they have estate foreclosures or whatever, and like when somebody dies, and just like take garbage away for them, charge them." That's what he does now. Is he goes? It's still his part-time job. Like he still has a normal job, but we go to a place. A lot of it's like it'll be like a really bad eviction where like they just left garbage everywhere, or like an estate thing where like the family is inheriting the house and their parents were hoarders, um, like stuff like that. Is this gonna kill him? Might kill him. And then you just clean it out, and he charges them to clean out their stuff, do all the labor, throw it away for him. He donates a ton of it to Goodwill. And then, yeah, that's kind of it. And then he gets to take some of the stuff that he wants and then he sells it. So it's like a win-win-win where he gets the money from the job, and then he also gets to resell some of the stuff that people were like, and like he'll find stuff where it's worth a lot of money and be like, "This is worth a lot of money. Do you want it?" And they're just like, "No, I just want to get rid of it." And so he gets to sell that stuff. But he really likes doing that stuff. That's not for me. I'll tell you what. I'm not built for that. I'm just there to do the labor. All right, this is my last Pokeball. All right, well, that sucks. No Ghastly for me. That's all right. Yeah, that's what we do. We sort of go to people's houses, barns. Like yesterday we went and they just had these people, they moved in from Colorado and they live out in the country now on a farm and inherit like just the last owners just left a bunch of shit, and we just took like a trailer full of wood that my brother went and took to the dump. So a lot of physical labor, but I was a bad ally yesterday. I felt bad. I even said to my brother, I was like, my Discord would be they would be fucking roasting me right now because they had 2 flags up that I didn't recognize. I felt like a really bad ally. And I'm gonna be honest. What's the flag that everybody makes fun of that's ugly? And like even the people who identifies, is it the lesbian flag that looks ugly? I can't remember which one. People like, even the people who use it are like, yeah, it fucking sucks. The lesbian flag is pretty ugly. The pan flag, is that the one? The thin blue line. Pan's not terrible. Not great. Well, it wasn't the pan flag. It was, I went in there and I was like, man, both of these flags were ugly. And I was like, I couldn't remember what they were, and I was kind of felt bad. The Don't Tread on Me flag. The Don't Tread on Me flag kind of goes hard, for being honest. All right. So I thought at first one of them was the non-binary flag, but it wasn't. So they had a genderqueer flag, which like the purple and the green do not look good together. And I think they had, oh no, it was, so one of them was the genderqueer one. I think the pan flag is fine. I'm not too offended by it. Is genderqueer, and then I saw it the other day. I think it was the demisexual pride flag. This one with the arrow. This one isn't as bad, I guess. But I didn't recognize either of them. And I was like, man, my Discord would be fucking roasting me right now. Not possible. It's the lesbian flag. As a non-lesbian, I'm obsessed with that flag. Really? I don't think the orange is very good on it. I don't know. What's the one that there's one that everybody is like, I fucking hate the colors of it. Like, maybe it is the pan flag. I don't know. Like, none of them are now sticking out to me as like, man, that sucks. But any tips on trying not to cry yourself to sleep every night? Dehydrate yourself so much that you can't produce tears. That's a bad tip, but it's certainly a tip. I would not do that. I don't know. I guess just like this is gonna be. I don't know if I say things if it's gonna sound condescending or not. But when I feel upset, therapy is always if you have an option. Of course, magnesium. People are saying magnesium. Wonderful. I really like to use like what I got going on good in my life whenever I feel down. I try to remind myself of the good things instead of trying to focus on the bad stuff. You know? You like water? Yeah, that's the tough part, right? That's the tough part with dehydrating yourself so much to where you can't produce tears. I gotta get out of here. I can't fight this guy. I don't have any PP. All my PP's out. MLM pride? Wait, huh? Are you guys gonna roast me again? What's MLM? Is that not multi-level marketing scheme? They have a pyramid scheme pride flag? Okay, so it is just gay men. It is men looking for men. Okay, wonderful. I was like, is that just men looking for men? But when I feel like crying, I set a timer for 20 minutes and give myself that time to be sad. And then after that, I watch it. There you go. Blem, that's a wonderful suggestion. Because it is good. Like, let yourself feel your feelings. But then also be realistic with, you don't want to dwell on that. You put on a comfort show. Put on Community. Community never fails to put me in a good mood. I know PP means something, but saying your PP is out is probably a bad idea. No, my PP was solo. I had no PP left. Have you ever thrown potassium in water? You know, as all of my years as a scientist, as a professional scientist, I never did that. I like to cry in the shower and I feel so much better. I mean, if you're going to cry, shower is a pretty good spot to cry, right? You only got to clean up afterwards. Like crying in bed, you're laying down, the snot's getting everywhere. You don't want to do that. Communities feel good. Yeah, I forgot about Pierce. See, that's a little bit of my privilege coming out where it's like Pierce to me, I can like just laugh at and I don't feel affected by anything he says. I watch a show that'll let me express but not dwell. Like a show that'll make me sob but not extend sadness. Okay. Crying in the shower because it feels so dramatic. That's like when you're mad at your parents when you're a kid and you like look out the window on a rainy day and you're like, yeah, this is how it feels. Just get to be a little melodramatic for a second and then. Yeah, I know potassium is highly reactive. That's why you always add, you ought to add acid to water, never add water to acid. Sitting down and crying. Now, all you fucking freaks who sit down in the shower, do you regularly clean your shower? Because, like, I would not feel okay sitting down. And, like, not that my shower's gross. I think my shower's actually very clean. But I would not feel okay just sitting down in the shower. I feel like that is gross. I understand that it's not that much different than taking a bath, but I also don't take baths, so. Yeah, if you can, therapy helps so much with people, so. If that's a possibility, it's obviously not a possibility for everybody. Subjectively way cleaner than taking a bath? Way cleaner? Way cleaner? I understand what you guys are all saying. I understand what you're all saying about just clean after you stand up. I get it. I just don't like the idea of it. It's not for me. Therapy is so annoying and I hate it. Well, that's your experience. Really funny. I didn't need to come fight all this. I could have just not. But. Whoops. What are we question marking and exclamation pointing about? Draxins. I would love to sit in the shower, and maybe it's the low iron in me, but I always feel like I'm going to pass out. Interesting. That's another thing that I've never had to deal with as a high iron boy. Therapists that are covered under insurance aren't the greatest. It's so hard. This doesn't look like Pokemon Arceus. Am I streaming as Pokemon Arceus? I'm not. Okay, good. You really got me. I guess I could update it to Crystal. Yeah, I know, like, it's so hard to find a good therapist. Like, and then I know, like, it can be a struggle too as soon as you find someone that you like and then they get rid of you, or like your insurance stops taking them or something like that. But still worth trying, because good night, Mom. Have a good night, Mom. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends, Mom. Have a good one, Mom. I had a therapist who would take phone calls from her daughter during our sessions and use our time for that. Fucking yikes. Oh, on the what episode? Whoops, why am I using Defense Girl? I'm trying to remember. I just read a story. I think it must be on episode 123. About, is a listener submission. Wait, was it a listener submission? I think it was on 123, but it was a person whose therapist like was hitting on her while she was in her sessions, and was like talking about how her clothing was inappropriate and it's making her not able to think right. Like, man, that fucking sucks. My therapist said that a bath with wine and a book was a good stress reliever. Hey, for some people that would be, but that's a really, I feel like that's a really unprofessional thing to tell as a therapist. That's crazy. The thing is, anybody can be a therapist, just like anybody can become a nurse or a doctor. And like, there's really bad ones, but there's also good ones. Therapist I tried had a live, laugh, love sign in her office. She's exactly how you're imagining. Yeah. Aurora struggled with finding a good therapist for a bit, because she had one that she liked and then her insurance changed. And then Angel's very wholesome. I don't have any balls. Holy shit. Good thing I didn't encounter anything. it was after Uvalde happened, after the Uvalde shooting happened. And Aurora was, of course, looking into early elementary education, or I always get it wrong, but teaching in a school. And so she was freaked out when that happened. And so she happened to have therapy, and she went in, and the lady was trying to be like, well, like she unironically used Ted Cruz's point of like, they should have less doors on the school. And it's like, what? How can you, as a fucking therapist, unironically say that? How can you unironically, like, your patient is even if that's your opinion, even if your opinion is that less doors on schools would prevent school shootings, which of course is fucking asinine. How can you feel good saying that to someone? Like, that's not going to help them. It blew her mind. She was so pissed, and she got angry and like got all mad. And then, that was after she had already talked about Roe v. Wade getting overturned, and like her fears with that and stuff. And the therapist, again, the same thing, was like, well, abortion is bad anyway, so why are you upset about it? It's like, well, you can't say that. That's not what you're supposed to say. What the fuck? I feel like I'm only doing Texas or like Southern names. You know what? We'll go. Hey, where's our Wisconsinites at? Let me Google the actual spelling. Make sure I'm spelling it properly. Waukesha. I have social anxiety. My parents were like, just get over, go talk to strangers. Yeah. I mean, that sucks, right? Like, I mean, parents, they're just people, and they don't fully understand what they're doing 90% of the time too. So that sucks. I didn't read your story about somebody pissing on an Xbox. No. If I remember, I'll try to pull it up if it's a good one. I was at the park today, and there was a soccer practice, and I asked the coach, how do you play soccer? And he replied, you dumb or something? And I said, that's not the first time someone said that to me. And then he said, Jesus Christ. What an insanely aggressive thing to say. Wausau. Waukesha, Waukegan, Wausau. What's the town I went to in Wisconsin that I fell in love with? That's the W, I think. It probably doesn't. I do that a lot. I'm getting W vibes from this word I'm thinking of, and then the word will be like Ryan, and in my brain I'll be like, well, yeah, because R is really close to W in the alphabet. Oh, it was Wausau. Okay, good. You sparked it in my brain. Wausau is the place that I was thinking. I always forget about Milwaukee. How about that? Even though I do enjoy Milwaukee. It's short. I sent it in after listening to an old episode about you peeing on a wall. Didn't pee on a wall. I peed on Aurora's feet. Very different. Peed on the bed. Somebody tagged us on a thing on Twitter that was like, oh, Josh, this is like that time that you pissed on this thing. And it's like, that wasn't the story. I think you're misremembering. I gotta see what encounters I get here. Red already have. Sandshrew, Zubat already have. Oh, I can't get a Sandshrew. Rat, Zubat, Wooper, Geodude, Onix. I can guarantee an Onix. Or I can get my Magikarp. I'm gonna get my Magikarp here. No, you're all good. It's fine. It was just we got tagged in. It was something very specific on Twitter that we got tagged in. Where I was like, "That's not the story." I don't know what you. Let me pull it up here. Of course, now I don't see it. Oh, you know what? It wasn't on Twitter. It was on TikTok. It wasn't on Twitter. Wondering if you read my email about Stockholm Syndrome in Buttsville? I don't remember that. We get a lot of emails. Wondering if you read my email about Joe? Who's Joe? Yeah, I got out of bed, stood at the foot of the bed, and then peed onto the bed, onto Aurora's feet. She said, "What the fuck are you doing?" I looked at her, and then I went to the bathroom, finished the business, pissed on the floor in the bathroom, and then went and laid down in the spare bedroom at the time. It was actually just an empty room. There's nothing in the room. And he said, "Josh, what are you doing? You just pissed on the bed." And I said, "No, I didn't." And then she cleaned up everything, and I went back to bed. Joe Mama, oh, come on. It was a very funny story. And then I just told recently, because that was last year. That was last August. This August, I came back, wasn't that drunk, but Aurora didn't go with me. And when I came upstairs, I had a splitting headache. And so I just was pacing because my head hurt so bad. And I didn't really know what to do. And I was standing near the closet, and he yelled at me "Go to the bathroom." And I was like, "Not pee. I'm trying to calm down." And she's like, "Go to the bathroom right now." And then I went in the other room. I actually came into the office and lay down on the couch where Christian and Erica sit. And she's like, "What are you doing in here?" And I was like, "I'm just trying to calm down." And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I was like, "It's fine. I'm just trying to. I have such a bad headache." Aurora is a saint. He takes very good care of me. I don't know if I have a water move yet, do I? Sure don't. Oh, boy. I guess I have to take him out with... Oh. I got this guy, but not very bulky. I should say, too, not that... I don't even know if anybody's in here from the beginning of the stream, but my Wednesday streams might be a little bit later. It's either going to be way later or way earlier. Because I work with my brother, but that doesn't start until 4:15, 4:30 is the earliest that we can start kind of on Wednesdays. And so today it was a short enough job, and I actually was going to be starting around 6:30, but I had to restart my computer. So I was late till I think I started at 7. But I might stream early. I might stream at 2 or 1 and then end at 4 when I need to leave. On certain days. Not every day, just to mix it up. I know it'll give our EU viewers, a better chance to catch the stream and all that stuff. And I might stream more. I don't know. Streaming is fun, right? I like interacting with you guys and everything, but it's not the most efficient use of my time. So I'm not gonna, I don't want to commit fully to streaming a ton, but I do really enjoy streaming. So. Last stream you said you were quitting your job and told us to quit. I told you to quit your jobs. The 2 days after that you almost got fired. Uh-oh. A good thing you didn't. I know M in the Discord quit her job. All right, this is where my run ended last time. Because of this fucking hiker a optional trainer. So I'm gonna up my team a little bit. My current level cap is 16, right? I'm gonna put them up. I still have to go through a little bit. I'm gonna put them up to 14 because there's a little bit of stuff I have to do before the gym. But I really don't want to fucking lose here, so I'm gonna try to avoid them. But just in case I don't, all right, he should be good. I'm gonna heal. I think this will be worth the potion use. When I was in middle school, I started struggling heavily with depression. The school counselor would regularly tell me to my face she thought I was very manipulative, which is my biggest fear thanks to parental trauma. My last year of middle school was one of the worst years of my life because whenever I went to see her talk about depression and anxiety, it really is. It really, really, really is crazy. Like, it's so upsetting and like frustrating that like people like kind of like similarly with cops too. It's like anybody can get a job. Like anybody can be in any profession. And it fucking sucks. You have somebody like a school counselor who like you would think like that's your resource. That's your resource to like be safe and go to somebody and talk with somebody. Somebody's supposed to be able to trust. And they just fucking fuck you over like that. It's so shitty. It pisses me off so. It's so frustrating that like, you know, it's a 9 to 5 and like people need to work their 9 to 5s, but it just fucking sucks. How many balls do I got? Maybe quitting in the spring, have a potential study. Hell yeah. This is actually, so the job that I quit is actually my first job that I got out of college. So it was like my first like big boy job. And like it's the first time I really like had to quit someplace. Like everywhere else it was like I'm going to school or like I'm leaving school. And so it was very much like they knew, you know, it was like, hey, semester's ending, I'm moving. So I'm quitting my job. The only one that I walked out of was Farm and Fleet, and that was a whole other issue. It was very interesting. It was very nerve-wracking to quit, but especially considering I wasn't going to like a full-time job afterwards. But want to work a 6 to 4:30 with me? Like 6 p.m. to 4:30 a.m.? No. I worked second shifts, which was what 3 to 11:30 I think was our shift. I really hate that. Spill the workplace drama. I think technically I probably shouldn't. I was thinking about that earlier. I probably still shouldn't, but last day of my cushy work from home job is tomorrow. I'm going to culinary school. Hell yeah. That's awesome. That was a test. Thank you, Christian. What's an S? Santa Fe. 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Okay. Wow. So it's long too. I didn't even like do that math. Yeah, my job was 7 to 3:30. Damn, 6 a.m. to 4:30. Oof. I work 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. and I dig that time, honestly. Plenty of time in the afternoon to video game with friends. Yeah, there's definitely benefits. My dad actually hated second shift the most. Like he worked all the ones. He always said second shift was the worst because like kind of like Lem is saying, when you work third shift, like you can come home from work and you have daylight. But when you're working second shift, it can be so like you never see the sun again sometimes. If you let yourself get into that like certain schedule. Anywhere from 10 to 13 hours starting at 5 a.m. You work like over 40 hours a week. That sucks. I'm going to open a coffee shop and going to name a drink the Piss Baby. It's just yellow. The flavor is yellow. I work in quality for an aerospace company. Yeah, that's kind of an important job. Yeah, I just worked for frac sand companies. What are you gonna do? Frac sand production company. We didn't use it. We just produced it. Oh, I didn't start the timer. I forgot the timer. Out of everything I did, I forgot the timer. All I do is stock beer. Hey, it's important. Every job is important. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it. And like, that's not to be like a corporate, like, you're respected. It's like you're producing, your labor is producing profit for somebody. And so use that as leverage whenever you're doing any contract negotiations, salary negotiations. Don't ever let people tell you it's unskilled or like unimportant or like entry level. All those things are just used to make you feel worse about your position. If your job exists because somebody is exploiting your labor to steal your money in the form of profits, like, don't let them forget that, and make sure that you use that as like, I know what you're worth. Know that you are producing profit and therefore you are entitled to fair compensation for that. Every day I go to work and I'm forced to think about Ted Cruz because I am in fact a lazy barista. Oh yeah. And it's okay to be lazy at your job. I like, do what you are asked to do and like literally nothing else. Like, and don't do the whole like quiet quitting thing. Like, you should loudly quit if you're gonna quit, and like demand better pay when you get a new job. The best way to make money is by quitting your job and going somewhere else. Accruing the experience in our meritocracy. Like, use that to your advantage. I do it at Walmart's because Walmart is so poorly run that they don't even stock half their shelves, or vendors do. My mom was a vendor for a while, and she always felt the same way about Walmart's. Upper body gains from throwing cases of beer. Yeah, nice little benefit. The cap is 16. My HR job, an overachiever, but this barista stuff, I absolutely do the bare minimum because I get paid the bare minimum. Yeah, and that's fine. Like, they understand that. Like, man, minimum is $7.25. Where do you live? Oh, you live in Wyoming. Bucks. Illinois is 12 this year. It's going up to 13 in 2022 or 2023. So it'll be 15 in 2025 for Illinois. But Illinois has got a higher cost of living than Wyoming. Not that I think it should be $7.25 in Wyoming, but like $15 is still not enough as a minimum wage. Was it $15 is like $33,000 a year? If you work a full-time job, which I just realized I almost died. I wasn't paying attention. Dude, and tips, that's a whole other fucking system of capitalism that America has just like, no, tips is the best way to do things. Like, tipping should be fucking illegal. Like, it should be illegal to like literally steal that much fucking profit from people and put the onus on the fucking people who are their patrons. It's so fucking shitty. Fucking hate tipping. I get to when I served at a sports bar, I made $2.50 hourly. Yeah, I make 15. Yeah, it's not enough. Like, it's the $15 an hour minimum wage fight has been going on for so long that like, if wages kept up with inflation, I think it's supposed to be like $26 if everything like. It's not quite. Well, this is an older chart. Like this is if wages kept up with inflation or minimum wage, it should be $21.45. When people start talking about a $15 minimum wage in 2000, like it was in the mid 2000s they were saying it, that was pretty apt. And then just kept going up, and then the actual minimum wage has stayed at $7.25 since 2009. I can't remember when the last time the minimum wage was increased federally. Capitalism has bred, and I wouldn't even necessarily give the like the kudos to capitalism, but our society has bred such a increase in productivity with not an increased amount of like capital to put into it to like get the productivity in the form of like technology. It's fucking criminal that minimum wage is so low still. Yeah. It's so sad. It's so sad to see, like, I guess it's part of the reason why, again, I'm very fortunate to be able to quit my job. But it's so fucking annoying to like sit in meetings, sitting there knowing that you're being underpaid. And then literally sit in corporate meetings and have them be like, record profits this year, or we're doing really good, guys. Keep up the work. We appreciate every one of you, while you're getting like fucked in pay. It's so gross. It just makes you feel so fucking slimy. Feel bad because I never carry cash tips, so I tip like 200% when I get my weekly tacos. I mean, and that's the thing. Like like I was saying, like that shouldn't be on the customer to do that. They should pay their fucking workers a working wage, like, or a living wage. It's so fucked. And like, I mean, we're all on the same page here. Like, getting socialized healthcare would be such a big step to it too. Like, you could probably have $15 minimum wage if we had socialized healthcare and like free education and stuff like that. Like methods that would supplement your income. All right, Bugsy. Let me mute real quick because I need to level up my people. Level 16 is our cap, so we'll go to 16. All right. Yeah, pen with the company logo on it. I got a fucking backpack the day that I quit with the company logo. It's like, great, I'm going to wear this company logo everywhere. The Geodude is going to show his dominance again here. George is going to take us home. Did I fucking name... Did you guys, in my run where I'm naming Pokemon after cities, let me name a fucking Pokemon Georgia and nobody made fun of me about it? I named a fucking Pokemon Georgia in a run where I'm naming them after cities. Well, Georgia's gonna fucking run the place. There's gotta be a Georgia city. The city of Georgia. City of Georgia. Does anybody know? Does anybody know if it's any called Georgia, USA? Nope, that's the state. Yeah, of course it is. I don't know if there's a Georgia city. There's a country. Government workforce currently is expanding. Currently waiting patiently for our raises. I hope you get it, and I hope you get them. I have this idea. You know how like every Twitch streamer has like their event that they do now? Like it kind of started with like, oh god, what was like the first big one? Like, but like everybody has like an event that they put on, and like or like a show. Like Ludwig did Mogul Money for a bit, and then I can't even think of any. Like they do Shit Camp every year now. They do. Well, I can't remember all the names, but anyway, since for a while, I've been thinking of doing this. Where I should have put on a poison cure berry. I want to start a thing, and I think it would work best on Twitch because it's a place where you can like talk with people live. But I want to start. I've always called it in my brain like the leftist book club, which I'm sure is taken. I'm sure that's a thing. But something like that. And the idea is just every month have a book everybody reads, post it on Twitch, and then, you know, my idea is like, you know, when it first starts out, like, obviously everybody can't afford books, so try to find books that you can get online for free or whatever, or cheap. And then as it goes, like, maybe buy books for people that can't afford it in the stream. That's Bad Shoe. Bad Shoe's done. Thank you. I've been thinking about this for a while partially because I want to read more and I want a good excuse. Have a good night, TNJ. Thanks for joining. I want a good excuse to be like forcing me almost to hang, right? Or to read more leftist stuff, but also because like I don't really know what to read, and like it would be a nice way to expose myself to like people that I maybe wouldn't have read, like people who authors I maybe wouldn't have read before just because I didn't know about them. And I think it'd be really cool, and I think that's like once Fridge Pod gets going and like Judgy's just still, you know, cooling out and like everything gets behind me, I really want to start that. But it would be focused on like, you know, like obviously there's the big obvious leftist books, right? Like Das Kapital and the Communist Manifesto, stuff like that. But I would want to do more stuff by like you know, BIPOC creators and like people who like, and like, you know, LGBTQ creators, like people who I wouldn't like as a straight white male necessarily know about, or like I've never been personally exposed to that kind of stuff. I've never read it, and I think it'd be really interesting to do. But I would need to find like, I have an idea for somebody who I'd want to co-host it with, but that would also be a big ask. All right, new level cap is 20. I'm about to do a rival fight here. And I don't have a really good answer for... I said I gave our rival Chikorita, and now I don't have like a really good answer for Chikorita. This is going to be one of the tougher fights. I really don't know exactly what I'm going to do. We'll figure it out. But yeah, that's the thinking, Lime, is like, I need to read more. I think it'll be fun. And like anything like that, you're obviously going to have to deal with, you know, you don't want to like do this thing where people can't afford to do it, right? Like there's a cost, there's a barrier of entry with the cost. And so I think it'd be interesting to find a way around that. And like, you know, if you get an interesting enough group of people to talk about it, you kind of don't need to have listened to or read the book, you know, and you can still get like a lot of the, oh no, I really didn't think that would crit me. What a death. Jay Smith, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Oh, that hurts. Goodbye, Roanoke. You did nothing for us. I really hope that... Have a good one. Stream's ending soon here, so we'll be all right. Seriously? I could have just used... Yeah, Battle Royale, yeah. And like that's the thing too. Like you could do theory books. Like you can do straight theory. And do the boring ones, and then the next month do one like Battle Royale, which is like obviously it's a Korean If I'm mistaken, let me know. But it's a Korean, South Korean like critique of capitalism. So like, yeah, like that's cool, and probably a little bit less dry than like theory. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my like rough thoughts. I didn't need to lose that rat at all. I played that. Oh, is it Japanese? I'm mixing it up with what was that show with the kids in it? That was like and maybe it was Japanese. Maybe I'm just mixing it up with all the really good capitalistic critiques that Korea's put out recently. Oh, music move, wonderful. Flinched anyway. Wow. Well, I lost rat and I didn't need to, so that sucks. But okay, rat's not very good. It's just like Pokemon Red, where I think I lost a rat. Didn't I lose rat in Misty's gym? And that was the only loss I had. I'm not going to say that this is my only loss I'm going to have, but I don't know. That's something I'd be interested in, because like a month is probably enough time for most people to be able to have the time to read a book, unless it was a super long one, and just be like a monthly show. And I thought that'd be really cool, but it's a lot of work, obviously. And Animal Farm, classic. Sure. Super short, yeah. And that's one that people you can like when you're talking about trying to find like cheap or like books people can find online for free, people could probably like torrent or like not torrent, but there we go, release. Get out of here, rat. Download illegally in some way, like find a PDF version of it, and you're not going to feel bad for stealing fucking Orson Welles like from Orson Welles' estate, compared to like a small creator who's doing, if you're reading like a small creator's piece of work, you wouldn't want to like steal that, because like, oh, you should probably support them. That's true. Most books, online books, do have. Yeah, and like that's the thing. Like the more I've thought about it, because I've thought about it a decent amount, not like super in depth, but obviously it lends it to like a bigger, like the bigger goal is, right, like getting to read more for both myself and then the people who were to participate in it. But like it lends itself to like sponsors, or like even just like good pushes, like pushing towards people using their libraries more, using their public resources more. Stuff like that. And like, I don't know, but maybe that's for next year. I don't plan on moving anywhere forward with that until next year, because I really want to push through this year and see how it is with the 2 new shows. But we'll go out. Let's see how good you guys did. All right. Bridgepod has right now 20 followers. We'll see if I refresh. My friend Honk just suggested, my friend Honk, is Honk your friend's name? Just suggested Project Gutenberg, which has a lot of free earworks on it. Oh, I'm going to write that down, Lem. Thank you. Write that down. All right, if I refresh this and I don't have at least 23 followers, I'm going to be upsetting every single person who is in chat tonight, and you're all getting banned. All right, you guys passed the test. Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you guys want to see some bullshit? His name is Hank, but you're calling him Honk. I thought you misspelled like group, and I was like, what is? I was like in my brain trying to be like, what did he mean to say instead of group? What's the TikTok account name? That was blurry. Is that better? FRJJ Pod. Is it super small? Exclamation mark friends. There's all your links for it. I want to show you guys some bullshit that happened. So, TikTok, if you're not aware, TikTok has like just not that long. Yeah, this is Joe. On TikTok, you can go live both off of your phone, and some people here. Let me mute this tab. You'll see people just like being live playing like Call of Duty. Like here, this guy's got 10 viewers. And let me show you. Like he's just straight up playing Call of Duty, right? And like he's not, or I'm sorry, Fortnite. He's not doing it on the app like you would like set up your phone and just screen record your, like people were doing that for a bit. So they gave out stream keys. They don't give stream keys out to everybody. You have to request them. And so if you Google like how to get TikTok stream key, right? I went to this website because I trust Kapwing at they're a good resource. And they say like, here's what you do. And then they say like, this is what you don't do. The only one that they found useful was contacting a TikTok supported agency. And so they say DM this account, which is a account that does like representation for people. Like their description is, I'll just click on it here. The description is management agency with licensed attorneys. Services include contract negotiations, connecting with sponsors and orgs, and much more. Blah, 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 blah. And so like the website says, like DM them and ask for a stream key. That's the only way to get one reliably because TikTok doesn't just give it to you. And so I wanted to get it because I wasn't planning on entirely using it, but you can stream to both Twitch and TikTok at the same time. And it helps obviously convert people over to the Twitch stream where you make more money and like you're able to grow a better thing. So I DM'd them and I said, here, I'm about to leak DMs. So, all right. So I DM'd them. I said, hey, you guys probably can't even see this because you're probably all on mobile. I said, hey, I would love to get a TikTok stream key. Our account has over 1 million followers and we would be able to go live multiple times a week for a few hours each stream. I was just like, hey, so here's why we want it, right? And then I linked our Judgy's Pod TikTok account. These motherfuckers said, we cannot onboard accounts with over 1 million followers. The only way for you to get one is through TikTok directly. What the fuck is that bullshit? Like, how as an account with 1 million followers can I not get a fucking stream key? It pisses me off so much. Like I messaged TikTok, obviously no fucking response. And like you can't, so I asked them like, do you have any resources for me to contact? They didn't message me back. Twitch has an exclusivity in their TOS only for partners. I don't think it's for affiliates. And also they just removed it. Or maybe they didn't, but now they're removing it. Like Twitch just removed it. And this was like a couple weeks ago. It was when they were getting like Amazon was getting like rated by something, and so they put out like this. But they ends platform exclusivity in its contract, allowing Twitch partners to do streams on YouTube. So if you were a affiliate, you weren't beholden to that. But if you were a partner, you would. But now they're removing it. So yeah, but I can't get a fucking stream key. It's so annoying. I fucking hate TikTok so much. It's such a dog shit app. Everything about it is so bad. It just made me so angry. So yeah. I'm gonna send you guys over to Kip. Kip is doing their first ever, I believe, what's it called? Stream subathon. So go over, support Kip. It's a Cap subathon, but please go show Kip some love. If you love creators on TikTok, then you should support them on other platforms. That's the best way they're going to make money, is if you get off of TikTok and go to a different platform. Okay, bye everyone.